put music. And also, like, during the training, like, you know, where is everything loud, you not hear your coach or something, like, it's not good. We don't need like people like who disturb you. Like, you know, you need to focus for your some different things every training. You know, you have some different things to prove. I think it's good to do more focus in training.
You like to learn stuff, you like to take care of details. In the same time, you don't want to have too much information around it, like when we try to fix one point at the time and be very specific with that. And but he's a good student.
Look, I think it'll be a great fight. I think if they do have a rematch, especially in Vegas, if we see the same fight again, I think this time it will go to Bivol.
Just one more from me. Beterbiev Bivol, the rematch. What a great fight that is in Saudi. How do you see that playing out, Saudi?
It's gonna be a really good fight again. Both are great fighters and
10 seconds. Time! How much? 1 hour? An hour.
I had Bivol winning. You know what I mean? What you call came on at the end. You know what I mean? Because Bivol, slowed down. He slowed down. So, but I had Bivol winning.
What would your pick out be? Obviously, the big one, Beterbiev and Bivol, the rematch.
Well, it's a great fight. The two best two light heavyweights in the world. Last time round, it was an excellent fight. They displayed all their skills. It's a rematch. That's going to be a great fight.
Андрей, может, не надо? Сколько делаем?
120.
2 раза?
Может, 3?
Я не смогу 3, да? 2?
Нет, 3 не можешь. 2, я думаю, что можешь. 1.
Who you got February 22nd? Bivol or Beterbiev? I think same outcome. Beterbiev. But rooting for Bivol. Hopefully he does better than the first time. If anything, I think Beterbiev is gonna hurt Bivol this time around. But kudos to Bivol, man. He boxed very well, but he just didn't show enough grit in the last championship rounds. It's a great fight.
Revenge. I think all he had to do was just finish a little bit stronger. He did really good in the fight, but the last 2 to 3 rounds, he kind of let his foot off the gas, and I think he know that.
There have been an approach regarding that fight for that date, but we'll see if it can get over the line. I mean, it's the only fight. You know, the first fight was not just a great fight, but I mean, if you don't want to call it controversial, you can call it extremely competitive. I mean, for me, Dmitry won that fight, and we need to try and put it right, but Beterbiev's a great fighter, and I think the rematch would be an epic event.
The rematch between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol is finally here, with fans on edge as Beterbiev showcases his intense final workout, ready for another tremendous performance. Teddy Atlas believes that Bivol will improve from the experience of facing the boogeyman in Beterbiev. He thinks that being in the ring with someone like Beterbiev answered questions for Bivol that he didn't know he had before. According to Atlas, you only truly understand certain things once you've been through the experience. He feels this will help Bivol grow as a fighter. However, Atlas also believes Beterbiev might be better in the rematch since he had more time to recover and rehab his knee.
I think that Bivol is going to get better from the experience of having been in there with the boogeyman. I just think that being in there with this guy, this boogeyman, he got some answers to some questions that he might have thought he had going in the first time, but he didn't have. Because you don't have them until you're in there and you actually go through that experience. Yeah. And I think that will better him. But I also think that Beterbiev might be better because he had more time to recover the knee, to rehab the knee.
Robert Garcia believes the rematch between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol will be a great fight. He thinks if the match is similar to the first one, Bivol might have a better chance of winning this time. Garcia mentions that the judges are influenced by everything they hear, and since many in the boxing world believe Bivol won the first fight, any close round in a rematch might go to him.
I think it'll be a great fight. I think if they do have a rematch, especially in Vegas, if we see the same fight again, I think this time it will go to Bivol. Just the way the judges are seeing. You see, the judges are also human beings. The judges are also hearing, reading, everything. A lot of boxing people thinking Bivol won. So they hear all that. So in a rematch, any close round might go to Bivol.
Bozy Ennis believes Bivol won the first fight, even though he slowed down toward the end. He feels that many others also thought Bivol was the winner. Ennis supports a rematch, predicting that it will play out differently this time. He points out that Bivol seemed to lose some energy in the final rounds of the first fight, but in a rematch, things could go differently as both fighters will likely adjust their strategies.
Speaking of undisputed fights, we had Bivol versus Beterbiev over the weekend. Did you see the fight?
Beautiful fight, yes, I saw that. Mm-hmm.
Who did you have winning?
I had Bivol winning. You know what I mean? Came on at the end. You know what I mean? Because Bivol, slowed down. He slowed down. So, but I had Bivol winning.
I feel like a lot of folks did. Should they rematch? How do you see the fight playing out? Should they rematch? How do you see the fight playing out?
Oh, I think they should rematch, and I think it's going to be a different situation this time because it seemed like he got winded at the last two rounds.
However, Artur Beterbiev is dedicating his training camp to enhancing his power. He's intensifying his efforts with strength and conditioning exercises to boost the force behind his punches. Beterbiev is focused on refining his knockout skills, ensuring he becomes an even greater threat when he steps into the ring with Bivol for their rematch. On the other hand, Dmitry Bivol is exuding confidence ahead of his rematch with Artur Beterbiev, stating that he feels no pressure going into the fight.
How much pressure on you for this one, Dmitry?
For this one?
Yeah.
I don't feel too much pressure. I feel less pressure than before.
Really?
He made it clear that he isn't bothered by critics, focusing solely on performing his best and regaining his titles.
Second defeat, they already start saying, okay, what's going to happen with Dmitry next? You don't feel pressure that you have to win?
I don't care about it. I think about only I have to do my job very well and win this fight.
Teofimo Lopez expressed his belief that Beterbiev would come out on top once again, but he also hoped Bivol would improve in their next bout. He anticipated that Beterbiev might be able to hurt Bivol more this time around, though he still recognized Bivol's impressive technical ability from their previous encounter. Teofimo pointed out that while Bivol displayed strong skills, his endurance seemed to falter in the later rounds. Overall, he expects a thrilling fight.
Who you got February 22nd? Bivol or Beterbiev? I think same outcome, Beterbiev. But rooting for Bivol. Hopefully he does better than the first time. If anything, I think Beterbiev is gonna hurt Bivol this time around. But kudos to Bivol, man. He boxed very well, but he just didn't show enough grit in the last championship rounds. a great fight.
Jose Benavidez Jr. believes that Bivol did enough to win the first fight, stating that he landed cleaner punches and outboxed his opponent. He acknowledges that both Bivol and Beterbiev are great fighters, making the rematch another exciting matchup. Benavidez Jr. is rooting for Bivol, but he recognizes that both fighters will likely come with different game plans this time, making it hard to predict if it will be the same type of fight as the first one.
That was a good fight. I feel like Bivol.
Yeah.
I thought Bivol did enough to win the first fight. But it can go anyway. Like I said, they're both great fighters. It'll be a great fight. I'm going for Bivol though.
How do you think it's like a different fight? The same fight, as close?
See, can't even say because I'm pretty sure they're gonna come with different game plans because Bivol, he's a boxer, but I feel like Bivol's gonna try to fight different too, not like the first time. So you have to wait and see. It's gonna be an amazing fight. The first one was.
Benavidez Jr. thinks the second fight will be an amazing one, as both fighters are expected to adjust their strategies. He notes that Bivol's ability to outbox Beterbiev was key in the first fight, but he also points out that the judges might see things differently depending on who they favor. Despite this, Benavidez Jr. stands by his belief that Bivol won the first fight based on his performance. He's excited for the rematch and believes it will be another great fight to watch.
I feel like he landed the cleaner punches, he outboxed them, But then again, I wasn't there like the judges were to score every single shot, If you kind of go for someone, you kind of might tend to see more of the punches that they're landing, But like I said, they're both great fighters, so it's gonna be a great fight to watch again.
Johnny Nelson is confident that Bivol will win the rematch by decision, seeing it as an opportunity for redemption. He believes Bivol can build on his performance from the first fight, whereas Beterbiev's style and pace are unlikely to change. Nelson stressed that Bivol needs to manage the tempo of the fight, altering it when necessary. If Bivol can do so, Nelson is certain he will win, and the rematch will have a different result.
I think Bivol beats Beterbiev on points. I think Bivol has room to grow from the last fight, whereas Beterbiev doesn't. I think we see Beterbiev showed you he's got pace. The pace he worked at is the pace that he stays at. He ain't going to change. He's not going to change anything else, or can't change anything else about that style. So Bivol's got to make sure he takes the pace. He brings it up and down, and if he does that, he gets the win. So I think we get a different outcome for the next fight.
Chris Algieri expressed his enthusiasm for the upcoming fight, anticipating it will be filled with excitement from start to finish. While he recognized that it might not have the same level of intensity as their previous bout, he emphasized how important the match is. Algieri pointed out the significance of the fight for both the light heavyweight rankings and the pound-for-pound list, underlining that with such high-caliber fighters, it's an event fans shouldn't miss.
That's been put together. I love this card top to bottom. You got the main event, which, listen, compared to the last fight, obviously what we saw in the first fight, it's not going to be a gangbusters type fight. But it's a very important fight for the weight class, for the divisions, for the pound-for-pound rankings. So the level of that main event is humongous.
Ahead of the fight, Bivol expressed that he anticipates a thrilling fight, one that will be just as captivating as their previous clash. He conveyed confidence in his skills and is determined to deliver his best performance, striving to improve upon his previous showing.
Expecting very good fight, not less interesting than first fight. And I believe in my skills. I hope I will do all my best and I will be better than last time.
Bivol concluded by stating that he expects the rematch to be more dynamic and fast-paced than the first fight, believing there will be more action and a quicker tempo in the upcoming battle.
What do you think the differences will be in this fight in comparison to the first fight?
I think it will be more actions, more active and actions.
On the other hand, Artur Beterbiev stated that in their initial encounter, there was limited time for preparation. However, for the upcoming fight, he feels they've had ample time to train, and everything is falling into place as planned.
From first fight is a little bit short time before fight, it's like 4 months, 3 months. It's not perfect that time, but now it's better.
Now it's close to perfect.
Yes.
David Benavidez felt that Bivol deserved to win their first fight. He recognized that it was a tight contest, but believed Bivol dominated most rounds with his accurate combinations. Looking toward a potential rematch, Benavidez believes Bivol could win again, though he noted that both fighters are top-level competitors who might make strategic changes. While he wasn't sure the rematch would unfold the same way, Benavidez was confident that Bivol would still come out on top if it did.
I thought Bivol won
won that fight, to be honest with you. It was a close fight. It could have went. Couldn't have went either way. I feel like Bivol won most of the rounds. He controlled most of the rounds, and his combination punching was better.
Do you think he wins the rematch?
I think he does.
Yeah. Is it different, or do you think it's more?
I mean, I don't know, because both those fighters are both high caliber fighters, so they can make adjustments. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be the same fight or not. But if it's the same fight, I feel like Bivol wins.
Joe Cordina believes Bivol understands exactly what he needs to do for the rematch. He expects Bivol to deliver a more confident performance this time around. While Cordina acknowledged that many felt Bivol won the first fight, he personally thought Beterbiev might have narrowly won by a single round. However, he's confident that Bivol will achieve a clearer victory in the rematch.
I think he knows what he needs to do now, and yeah, I think Bivol. I think he'll be. A lot of people thought he won. I didn't. I personally, I didn't. I thought maybe 1 round to Beterbiev, but I think it'll be a comfortable win for Bivol this time around.
Beterbiev has been training relentlessly for the upcoming rematch, showcasing his strength and power during an open workout alongside Dmitry Bivol. His intense preparation highlights his focus and determination as he aims to refine his skills and bring even more explosiveness to the fight, making him a formidable opponent. Callum Smith believes the rematch between Bivol and Beterbiev will be similar to their first fight, with Beterbiev's pressure challenging Bivol at times, but Bivol's speed and technique also standing out. Smith is concerned about Beterbiev's age and tough recent fight, questioning how long he can keep up at this stage in his career.
I think it'll be very similar to the first fight. I think there'll be parts where Beterbiev's pressure is a little bit too much, and there'll be parts where Bivol's boxing ability and sharpness is having a lot of success, which I think we've seen both times in the first fight. I don't know, it's the age question again. Beterbiev was 40 a few weeks ago, and that was a tough fight, probably the toughest one of his career, and how much can your body...
Smith thinks the longer the fight is delayed, the more rested Bivol will be, which could work in his favor. He believes Bivol can handle Beterbiev's pressure as the fight goes on, and ultimately he leans toward Bivol, thinking his freshness will give him the edge.
Don't know, I just think the longer we're waiting to fight, Bivol's that little bit fresher. I think he might have a little bit more success and be able to weather the storm late on, and I think it'll be a very, very close fight, but I'm just leaning towards Bivol being that little bit fresher.
Frank Warren is eagerly anticipating the upcoming rematch, calling it an exciting showdown between two of the best light heavyweights in the world. Looking back at their first fight, he praised the remarkable skills both fighters showcased. Warren is confident that the rematch will live up to expectations, offering another thrilling and technical battle for fans to enjoy.
Well, it's a great fight. The best two light heavyweights in the world. Last time round, it was an excellent fight. They displayed all their skills. It's a rematch.
Callum Smith mentioned that the first fight was very tight and could have gone in either direction. He believes Bivol has the ability to improve in the rematch, especially since he now knows how to handle Beterbiev's power. Smith also highlighted that rematches often bring small adjustments in strategy, meaning both fighters are likely to approach the fight differently. In the end, it will depend on who makes the better adjustments, which makes the rematch both thrilling and uncertain.
I don't know, because I thought he boxed very well early on. I don't know, maybe he obviously believed he could take the power, but I think now he knows he can. Yeah. I don't know whether he was hurt and never really showed much, but I don't know, I think both will probably take belief from the first fight, knowing he'd been there and done it, and I don't know, I think that's the good thing about rematches, it's who's going to better the game. I think we may see a better version of Bivol, but you may see a better version of Beterbiev as well, so it's a lot of the time rematches are like a blank slate again. You've got to both go away and rethink and come back with.
Sergey Kovalev believes that in the last fight, Bivol won with a score of 7 rounds to 5. He is confident that Bivol won and thinks that with more confidence in the rematch, Bivol will secure another victory. Kovalev feels that Bivol's success will lead to a great trilogy, with a potential third fight coming up in the future.
I think so. Last fight, Bivol got 7 rounds against 5.
So you thought he won?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he it's 7-5. He won, and he will be more confidence for a rematch, and will get a victory. Yeah, we'll get a win, and then will be the third fight.
Shakur Stevenson pointed out that Bivol needed to maintain his intensity throughout the entire fight, particularly in the later rounds, to secure the victory. He felt that Bivol lowered his guard towards the end, which ultimately affected the final result and made a difference in the outcome.
Revenge. I think all he had to do was just finish a little bit stronger. He did really good in the fight, but the last 2 to 3 rounds, he kind of let his foot off the gas.
Eddie Hearn mentioned that the first fight was thrilling and incredibly close. Although it wasn't considered controversial, it was clear that both fighters gave it their all. Hearn believes Bivol deserved the win and emphasized the need for closure in the rematch. He also acknowledged Beterbiev's elite status, confident the rematch will be a memorable clash.
Over the line. I mean, it's the only fight. You know, the first fight was not just a great fight, but I mean, if you don't want to call it controversial, you can call it extremely competitive. I mean, for me, Dmitry won that fight, and we need to try and put it right. But Beterbiev's a great fighter, and I think the rematch would be an epic event.
Carl Frampton shared that he initially picked Beterbiev to win the first fight, and since Beterbiev did emerge victorious, he recognized it as a close contest, despite some controversy. For the rematch, however, Frampton believes Bivol will come out on top this time around.
I picked Beterbiev for the first fight. I know there's a wee bit of controversy. Well, there wasn't really. I thought the right man won the fight. I thought Beterbiev won the fight. But it was very, very close. But in the rematch, I think Bivol wins the rematch.
Jose Benavidez Sr. believes the rematch will be just as hard fought as the first. He felt both fighters gave their best in the initial bout, with their styles meshing well. Benavidez thinks Bivol's speed, mobility, and defense will give him the upper hand. He believes Bivol narrowly won the first fight and can repeat that success by staying smart and avoiding Beterbiev's heavy punches.
Well, I think it's going to be kind of the same fight. It's going to be a really close fight. We've seen everything. Both of them were trying to do the best that they could. Both of them, the styles, you know, kind of like work for each other, and I believe in the first fight, Bivol won. I think this fight, I think Bivol can win again. He's a little bit faster, he has more movement, you know, and Beterbiev, you know, he hits hard, and he's probably waiting for that big shot. And Bivol, hopefully he doesn't stay in front of him and get hit with a big shot. So I think I see the same fight.
Benavidez Sr. acknowledged that the fight was extremely close and could have ended in a draw. While he respects the judge's decision, he personally felt Bivol did just enough to win. For the rematch, he expects another tight contest, but is confident Bivol will prevail again.
Yeah, Bivol by a little, I think he won by 1 point. Like I said, it was a very close fight. You know, either, to me, it could have been a tie, you know, but, you know, they gave it to Beterbiev. So at the end of the day, you know, I'm not a judge, you know, but in my mind, I thought he did enough to just win that fight by a little bit.
Joe Gallagher stated that he supported Bivol throughout the first fight and still believes Bivol was the rightful winner. He acknowledged that Bivol is aware of Beterbiev's strength and power, but this was something he already understood. Gallagher suggested that the rematch may pick up where the first fight left off, with Bivol continuing the momentum. He also wondered if Bivol could make adjustments and maintain the strong performance he had in the later rounds to secure another points victory.
Well, I backed Beterbiev all the way last time, and I thought he won the fight still. The adjustments, Bivol knows the strength and power, not that he didn't already know. Maybe the fight's just got to pick up where it left off with Beterbiev with that momentum, or can Bivol adjust and keep the excellent work that he did late on into the later rounds to secure the points victory.
Carl Froch, excited for the rematch, emphasized that only true boxing enthusiasts could fully appreciate the intricacies of the first fight between Beterbiev and Bivol. Froch had Bivol ahead on his scorecard, which made him even more eager for the rematch.
But for the purist and the people that understand boxing, that realised what they were watching, would have been on the edge of the seat, mesmerised by the skill level and the quality of both operators. Now, Bivol didn't get the decision. I thought he'd won when I watched it on the night. Beterbiev obviously won. He's unbeaten.
He also offered Bivol some advice, advising him to stay focused in the later rounds. Froch pointed out that Bivol didn't do enough in the final 3 rounds of their first encounter, while Beterbiev maintained the pressure. He reminded Bivol that judges often favor the fighter who finishes strong, a factor that may have contributed to his narrow loss in the initial fight.
I think Bivol maybe needs to look a bit more interested, if that's fair, towards the end of the fight. Maybe around 10, 11 and 12, I think he needs to get more shots off, because he finished slow. Beterbiev put it on him a little bit more. It looked like he wanted to be in there a bit more. It looked like he was trying to win and trying to trying to get that victory, and the judges do like that.
Jamie Moore stated that at the highest level of boxing, the difference between winning and losing is incredibly slim. He believes the rematch will closely resemble the first encounter, with both fighters likely using similar strategies. Moore anticipates another tight contest, but this time he feels Bivol will come out on top.
I feel like at that level, when there's a fine line between winning and losing, it's going to be a very similar fight. They're both going to come pretty much the same, and it'll be the same type of fight, and it'll be as close as it was last time, but I feel like Bivol will nick it this time.
So what are your thoughts on this? Share your thoughts in the comment section, and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video.